Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new Let's Play. Today we're going to be playing some Divinity Original Sin 2. I am going to play this with a custom character. For anyone who's looking to watch an Origins character playthrough, I do have videos up on my Twitch channel, which will be linked in the description below, so go and check that out. And without further ado, let's get started. Single player. Explorer mode, because we're a little baby. What the other? What's classic? No, we'll go with Explorer mode for now. This isn't my first time playing this sort of game. I did play the original back in the day. Thinking of maybe doing a playthrough at that of that sometime, but we'll see how that goes. Oh well, I guess we'll see how this goes and see what the general thoughts are. So, what type of character are we going to go with? I do really like dwarves, so I may play a dwarf. Perhaps an undead dwarf. Yeah, see, these are the origin characters here. They all have their own stories. I'm in my Twitch playthrough. I'm currently playing as Ifan Ben Mezd. We've created him as a cleric. Because these are set characters with their own stories, but you can still customize their class. But for this playthrough, like as I said, we're going to go with a custom character. The issue is I don't want to go with a boring sort of standard, like a standard dwarven character. Maybe like a fighter or maybe not so much a knight, but not going to go rogue. I'm not a big fan of rogues in these types of games. Shadow Blades are a cross between, I believe, mages and rogues. Wayfarers are a cross between mages and rangers. Don't really want to go with a battle mage. Don't want to do a cleric because we're already doing one of those. Conjurer, it's interesting, but I don't see that being a good class for a dwarf. Inquisitors are quite interesting. May have to go with an Inquisitor. But my other choice that I was thinking would be a Ranger. I quite like the idea of a Dwarven Ranger. However, I'm not sure if there are sort of gunpowder weapons in this game, because I'd prefer him to be more like an arbalist with his gun that's too big for him. So it's a cross between an Inquisitor, two-handed, very dwarven-like. Should start off by saying that I don't really know what these classes, what they can build into. A lot of them. You know what? Let's go with an Inquisitor. I can see our dwarven character going with a two-handed weapon. Let's change his appearance. Okay. What would you say dwarves normally are? Turf? I think turf's a good fit for dwarven character. What else have we got? Caramel? No. Cocoa? No. We're just going in completely the wrong direction here, I feel. Alabaster, bamboo. I do like how they use real life colours for this rather than going with generic colours like pale white, white, tan. I think ooh. Let's go with Dune. He's got a bit of a tan going on. Face. What face do we want to go with? That's creepy. I feel like that's too smooth skinned. No, too old. Ooh, perhaps we'll go with the eye patch. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go with the eye patch. Hairstyle. Do they have any... very limited on the hairstyles. I'm thinking I might make him... Nope, that's faces. What am I doing? I'm thinking I may make him bald. Eye patch, bald? Yeah, let's go with that. Hair colour. What are these? Lava cake? Smoke? Beast? Black grape? Marzipan? I'm not sure if I should go with a sort of a black beard or a grey beard. Let's go with the char, the black beard. Facial features. Ooh. Ooh. I like that. What is going on with his face? Has he super glued his moustache to his beard? Ooh, I like that. Ah, let's go with this. Voice.
Nice try.
Greet the Reaper for me.
Greet the Reaper for me.
Prepare yourself.
Greet the Reaper for me.
Nice try.
Let's go with the warrior. Presets. Warframe. Okay, so Inquisitors are, should I say, masters of the necromantic arts. Heals you whenever you do damage directly to vitality. That's interesting. Interesting. Let's stick with that. Let's stick with that for now. Strength, intelligence, constitution. That looks fine. Skills. So right now we've got battering ram, which knocks enemies down. Bouncing shield hits up to 2 enemies, I guess. Battle stomp. Knocking down people in front of you. I quite like that. However, I do like the battering ram for a gap closer. A cripple. Not really interested in cripple. Raised bloated corpse. Decaying touch. Swarm of mosquitoes. Let's keep with the self-regenerative abilities there. Select talents. Executioner action gives you 2 extra action points after dealing a killing blow. I like that. I like that. I remember seeing a lot of these from the first game. Tags. What tags do we want to go with? I think you can pick 2 tags. Yes, you can pick 2 tags. So we'll go with soldier. Your vision is quite your own, but you can make use of it. Outlaws, back alleys and rooftops. No, you will. Yeah, let's go with noble and soldier. He's going to be a rich dwarf. That's why he's an inquisitor. Instruments. This is a feature I really like that they've added. I'm going to go with the oud. So it just sounds so good. It feels classical to these sorts of games. Lorien. Do you want to go with Lorien? No, let's go with... let's go with... Nope, not W. Dalek. I think that's a good fitting name for our fellow here. So let's go. Yes, I'm done with character creation.
It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. flies to honey. The monsters swarmed. The rabble panicked. The carnage began. And the Magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared. And sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead, I became part of their story.
Interesting. I'm not sure if that witch is the main villain of the game. I've got nowhere near to completing this. I've only played about the first 2.5 hours maybe. So we're waking up here on a ship on our way to a prison island.
So it wasn't a dream after all.
Nope, you are indeed on a ship. Nice to get a bit of gold off the bat. Take the let's not mess around with that. Alright, let's go and talk to our very first NPC.
Yes. Looks like that collar fits you snugly
No
enough.
lesions,
Nice bit
no
of work,
trauma.
even if I do say so myself. There. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get used to its leash.
Just as a note, I'm not going to be speaking over these dialogue options, just so anyone who's interested can just sort of go with it, get engaged.
In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and he's the chap in charge of the logs. You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters.
Let's be a bit cheeky. We'll go with a noble option. Now that you're up, you'd like to bathe and dine. Tell her to ring for the servants.
Oh dear, I'm afraid you're a long way from home, my lord. A long way from the little bells that make footmen come a-running.
Index fingers pressed to her lips, she pauses a moment to give you a scrutinizing gander.
That's not patronising.
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous with that sedative.
Maybe so.
Oh well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. In the meantime, all you need to know is that we're en route to Fort Joy.
Told you.
A new life awaits. And if you're a particularly good boy, perhaps a cure as well. An end to sauce. For good.
Oh, but Mom, I like my sauce. Ask why she collared you.
Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those sauce spells of yours? See what happens.
No, she might be playing a trick. Don't do it.
Oh, do go on. I won't hold it against you. Promise.
Nope, I'm not going to do it.
My, aren't we a meek little lamb? Perhaps I needn't have collared you at all, though it does look darling on you.
I don't like this woman.
So let's just leave it on, shall we? Because, to answer your question, what the collar does is this. It makes you unable to cast sauce.
So ignore that.
For your own peace of mind, of course. Yours and the whole world's.
Sure, okay. Anything in there? No, I don't want to buy any of this from you, woman. 63 for a penny bun mushroom. For those of you who don't know, a penny bun mushroom added with an empty flask gives you a minor healing potion. Right, let's leave. Get out of here.
It seems as though there's a
Good gods.
Oh my god, there's been a
been a murder
murder.
Behind
this
the
guy.
Magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles. You can't make out a face amid the mess.
Peer into the room and ask what happened.
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own.
Lucky you were busy getting your collar fitted at the time, or you'd be a suspect like the rest of them.
Sure.
Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does.
Ask if I could lend a hand.
Aren't you enterprising? I'll let Waters tell you no herself.
Ha! Funny. You're a funny man.
Go ahead. She with the body.
Alright, because this is a very long game, I'm probably not going to waste too much time speaking with every NPC we come across. I mean, I may not even do... Oh, that's a nice little touch. I didn't even notice that. But, you know, I don't want this series to go too long. Like, I want to do most things, but this probably isn't going to be 100% playthrough. Just because, you know, you're probably looking at hundreds of videos just to get to the end of this, and I know a lot of people can't commit that much time to one series, but I mean, let me know what you think in the comments and I'll sort of decide where we'll go from there.
Ugly sight, isn't it?
Yes.
Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this.
She wasn't this man's protector, she was his captor.
Finn didn't see it like that. He was desperate for us to help him. Two things scared the living daylights out of him. His own shadow and his own source.
Sounds like a man with inadequacies.
We'll find out who did this. Speaking of...
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole time. Didn't even stir.
Nope. I slept like a good boy.
You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course.
That's not a trick I've quite mastered yet.
I thought as much. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Sometimes they clam up in front of a uniform.
Okay.
Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that?
Tell her your price is considerably higher than that.
Not in here, it isn't.
Oh, yes it is.
You let me know if you hear anything. Whoever did this is dangerous.
Is there anything to steal in here? But no, not interested
no known
in that.
associates. In fact, he seemed quite averse to
Go check these wood chips. Yay! What I've always wanted.
My, these specials are strong enough.
Come on, mate. You're getting blood all over the carpet. Bedroll. I know that these become important because they are the ways of... So you use this to rest when there are no enemies nearby. So basically get your health back. Bucket helmet because this is always hilarious. Yeah. It doesn't even fit him. It doesn't even fit properly. What is this madness? Metal crate, empty. Right. What's going on here?
Ah, there you are. Husband.
You married a dwarf? Okay.
Would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not at all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this Losa woman, nor do I sing, in fact. I'm deathly allergical.
Play along and take her arm with a grin. Tell the children they must be mistaken.
How very correct you are, spouse of mine. Madame Josephine Gribbles de Peeb refuses to be confused with anyone else.
The peep.
What? What's so funny?
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and she shoos the children away from her with a laugh.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and git, and maybe I'll sing you something when I'm good and ready.
She turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty-haired, and smiles flatly.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we?
Indeed we do, true enough.
You presume right.
Ask her if she knows anything about the murder.
Nope. Trying not to find anything out either. Ignorance is bliss. The utterer, the better.
The utterer, the better? What? Speak English, woman. Take your
Suddenly,
leave.
her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Greyish veins run down her face, and her mouth tightens into a cruel sneer. As quickly as they came, the clouds clear. She smiles as though no change came over her.
Good luck, Chief.
Thank you, you weirdo. I think each of these people with the soul scholars on have that option of come with me and check, but I'm not really interested in I'm not sure if that means that they become your companion, but I'm not really interested with a companion right now. I kind of have an idea of who I want in my party, but well, no spoilers.
Name?
Who wants to know?
The Divine Order wants to know.
I'll tell him my name.
Well, you aren't here on my list. Scram, eh? We're trying to catch a killer here.
Okay. Going to talk to this guy by the. He's reading? He's reading
The
his
elf
book.
is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He looks up, his big round eyes scanning your body, absorbing every detail. He reaches out and examines your face, tugging at your ears and prodding your nose.
Fascinating.
Excuse me?
He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to your presence.
Stare at him in shock and ask what the hell he thinks he's doing. What the hell are you doing?
I am reading. Is this not evident?
Aren't you a snarky one?
My book is in my hands, my face turned away from you. Perhaps my eyes not on the page. Damnable things.
He grabs a metal plate and watches his reflection with one eye as the other shifts left to right and up to down. He repeats the maneuver with the opposite eye.
Okay.
No, they are working quite adequately. It seems you are at fault. Predictable, really.
Explain that you want to know why he thought he could touch you like that.
Oh, I see. I crossed a cultural taboo. How difficult. You have my apologies, dwarf.
Okay. Apologies accepted.
Perhaps I should demand the same from those red-cloaked humans. They laid their hands on me more than once.
Is this the part where we get out the doll and you point out where they touched you? Look at him curiously. You're not sure he understands what's happening.
Perhaps. Perhaps not. Understanding is all rather relative.
I can understand that.
Take this book, for example. I understand all of it, and yet none of it makes sense. It is simultaneously too detailed and insufficient. I know the beginning of this tale and the end, but I am rather missing the middle. Tell me, what do you know of our world's history?
Let's go with the dwarf of response. Sadly, the dwarf empire was great once, but it's shrunken a lot in its recent history.
Oh, please. I have no interest in that. Your books are too full of it already.
He's mocking my people.
No. I want to know about the Celestial. I want to know about your gods. This text tells me that they created all creatures, but nothing of what came before. Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind?
Admit that some things just aren't known.
Of course you don't have any useful information. Why did I expect anything else?
Okay.
Now please, run along. I have a world to decipher.
Shrug and believe. Beer. It's a very well-known fact that dwarves love beer. I'm gonna take all the beer.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
Who's Gil?
Stay away from the Magisters, brother. They killed that fellow back there. They'll hide the evidence well enough, but I know it all the same.
Okay. He obviously has not a lot to say to us. Let's have a little lay down. He looks comfortable. Anyway, enough of that. Let's talk to Beast.
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. His beard is a cascade of meticulous plaits, each one braided through with golden medallions.
Just like mine. Look at mine is plaited with golden medallions.
He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eyes.
Listen up, boy. You hear that?
Ask him what you're meant to be hearing. Because he's a dwarf, I'm gonna ignore the fact that he called us boy. Ask what you're meant to be hearing.
The ship, of course.
Quieten and listen to the sounds of the ship.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your shipmates, the groaning of wood from floor to ceiling, the boom, crash and crackle of waves around you, complaints from the sea itself.
And?
Tell him that the sea sounds angry, like it's trying to capsize the ship.
The fellow cocks his ear, listening.
That isn't anger, it's...
He cocks his ear to the other side, then smiles.
Anticipation. She senses something. I'd hold on to my breeches if I were you, mate. That's all you hear, though. Listen close.
Close your eyes and try to let the ambient sound on the ship fade away.
There now, just like that.
Squeak.
Aha!
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy. One great paw claps you on the back. The other catches you before you lose your footing.
Really? Would I really lose my footing? I'm like 2 feet off the floor.
There. You heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, boy. Good news.
Nod, you heard it. What's it supposed to be?
It's the wheel. The
wheel?
Don't you see, you beautiful idiot?
The cool
Squeaks
whip.
whenever the helmsman jerks it clockwise, which means we're heading east. Burn my beard. That means if we've been travelling for, yes, only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy.
Blasphemy. You shouldn't be talking like that about such a magnificent beard.
Ah, so you've eyes as well as ears, eh? You'll go far, mate, even here.
Ask him why he's so excited about reaching Fort Joy.
No indeed, boy. But that ain't my final destination.
Okay.
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard, gold medallions jingling merrily. His eyes roll over to you.
That'll be all. Thank you kindly, boy.
Say nothing, but look him over once before leaving. You may want to find him again inside Fort Joy.
I forgot how to sing. I did.
Well, that's our time for the moment. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, hit the like button. Consider subscribing, and you can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Captain Compromise. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you can join me for the next part. And that'll do it for now. See you next time.